Kia ora, and welcome to your favorite program, Baha'i on Air. I'll be your host and interviewer for this program. My name is Kirsten Zemke, and I'm here at the New Zealand North Island Baha'i Annual Summer School that we have every year. We're in Hamilton. Special guest today that you're going to meet. He's a philosopher, theologian, welder, comedian, and father of 3 daughters, including 2 female mice and 2 female cats. And so this is Mr. Pesa White from Tauranga. Now, I was wondering if you could tell the audience what your full name and title is.
My name is Ta'uo Pesa White, and Ta'uo is a Samoan title, which is a high chief and a talking chief at the same time. And Pesa is just a normal name, and the white, you might like to know where the white comes from. Unusual for a Samoan to have such a last name. My great grandfather is an American sailor that came on trading ship.
So we're both Americans, so we can relate. So we're here at the Baha'i Summer School. Tell me what you've been doing at summer school and a bit about what you've done here.
They asked me to talk about the subject of new teachings revealed by Baha'u'llah, the prophet founder of the Baha'i Faith. The fundamental teachings of Baha'u'llah is the oneness of humanity. Addressing mankind, he said, "Ye are the leaves of one tree and the fruits of its branch." By this it is meant that the world of humanity is like a tree, and peoples and nations are like the limbs and branches of this tree, and the individual human being as fruits and blossom thereof.
So when you say that the new teachings brought by Baha'u'llah, it's because Baha'is actually believe that the other religions are from God too. And so Baha'u'llah is adding. Explain that.
Yes, all the past religions reveal teachings that suits the time that they appear. Baha'u'llah is the continuation of God's plan, which is known in the Baha'i Faith as the progressive revelation. That God sent this manifestation and prophets and bring teachings that suit humanity at that time. So all the teaching that brought by Moses and Buddha and Muhammad and Christ were all sort of, I would say that elevated to a new step by Baha'u'llah, and that is due to the capacity of understanding that humanity is in now. All the teachings that Baha'u'llah revealed today for humanity, Jesus Christ and Muhammad and all those other prophets knew about them, but they could not reveal at that time because it does not suit the understanding of people at that time.
Here are some basic facts about the Baha'i Faith.
Baha'is believe there are many names for God, but there is only one God, neither male nor female, nor a physical being. God created us through the process of evolution and gave us spiritual qualities and the power to know and understand.
Baha'is believe that God has sent prophets to all the peoples of the earth who are animated by the same Holy Spirit. They all reveal the Word of God and teach the same faith.
Many Pacific Island people are Christian. And so how does the Baha'i Faith relate to Christianity? Are they giving up? Did you give up being a Christian if you're Baha'i?
Not really, because as I said before, that as a Baha'i you are accepting all other religions and other prophets. And it's in that stage of progressing that you are progressing to another level of education with a new teacher. And so it's really you're not giving up your Christian faith. You are confirming your belief in Christ and getting your knowledge deepened on Christianity, and particular with the Bible and all the teachings of Christ. So you're not giving up your Christianity beliefs if you become a Baha'i.
So did you grow up as a Baha'i?
No, I was a Christian, brought up as a Catholic, then changed to other 3 or 4 different denominations of Christianity. Then my father became a Baha'i, and that's one thing that struck me or attracted me to the faith is when my father, who was, as you all know, the head of the family, if he changed a church, the whole family goes to that church. So there was a lot of changes in my family. We even became Mormons. But when he became a Baha'i, it was so unusual that he did not force us to become Baha'i. He just kept silent for a couple of years. And we asked him, why you're not forcing the family to become Baha'is? And he said one of the principles of the Baha'i Faith is the independent investigation of the truth. And he said that you have to find out yourself. You have to investigate the Baha'i Faith, read their writings, and decide yourself if you want to become a Baha'i. Yeah, so that's the attraction. And then each one of us start to read the writings, and my mother became a Baha'i after my father, and then 4 of us kids eventually become Baha'is.
But what about maybe your father's extended family? Were any of them worried about him when he became a Baha'i?
Yes, there was actually a big problem in the village, because he was holding a high title in the village. His title was a Tumanubao, which is second to the highest title of the district, called Tangaloa. And his father was the Tangaloa, but then he passed away, so he was holding that. Actually, his title became the highest title of the village since his father passed away. So the village were a bit concerned when he changed to the Baha'i Faith. They were not concerned when he changed to other denominations of Christianity, because to them it's just another Christian community or denomination. But the Baha'i Faith, they have no knowledge of it, and the name Baha'u'llah, the Prophet founder of the Baha'i Faith, is very foreign to them. They think it was some sort of weird, at some stage they think it was a cult in some state.
Now you mentioned a little bit earlier about that Baha'u'llah is the fulfillment of all the religions. And so are you saying that he's what all the Christians have been waiting for?
Yes. Yeah, if you are familiar with Bible prophecies, it clearly stated in there that of Christ saying that he will return on the clouds in the glory of the Father. So all these interpretations in the Bible have esoteric meanings, or they are a metaphor, if you would like to put it that way. So the appearance of Baha'u'llah, which is an Arabic word, which means the glory of God, is the fulfillment of that, of the return of Christ.
And one of the other sort of differences that might be a change for a Pacific person is the Baha'i Faith doesn't have ministers or priests.
In our culture in Samoa, it almost matched the Christian system. or have a priest, and have the leader of the family as the man. So in the Samoan system, we also have that system, that the matai or the chief of family is a leader of that family, and also leader of the part of the group of leaders of the community. So they hold the power, and everything else is set in that stage. There is a chief's council, then there is the women's council, then the untitled men's council, then the young women's council. This is all in the village. The men or the chiefs of the village eat first, and then the women, and then the children eat last. The Baha'i teaching is that everyone is equal. And it's very hard in that culture in Samoa. And also I've experienced myself in Baha'i administration system, like the local spiritual assembly. This is the body that look after the Baha'i's affairs in the village. I have been a member of some of these local spiritual assemblies that full of matais and young people and women, and they find it very hard to accept an opinion from a young person or a woman in this consultation. That was a big learning curve for me.
How do you think the equality of men and women as a principle will change family life, or how does it change your family life?
Oh, it changed my family a lot, because I come from the chief system, Matai system, and I'm a Matai, but I married a Canadian. So the first thing I did when I met my wife, I said, I'm a Matai, and I really want you to serve your chief well. Oh, that didn't go down very well with her. Actually, she said to me, I don't think I'll be able to do that. And if you do force me to do that, I think I will kick you out of the marriage.
But you've managed now.
Yes, I manage now. She's a lovely lady. We have 3 beautiful daughters, and it works really well. We've been married for 23 years now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, you were talking about your family story. At what period of time was this? Like, was the Baha'i temple there yet when you were Baha'is? Or what was the rest of the Samoan community doing? When did you become a Baha'i?
I became a Baha'i mid-70s.
So the temple wasn't there?
No, wasn't there.
You've been there?
Yes, yeah. I was actually part of the building. I was clearing up the land from the start. And it was so good to have the temple in there, because I'm not really sure that's the reason why it was decided to build temple there is because of the head of state, Maliatua Tanmawhili II, did embrace the Baha'i Faith. So it was, I guess that was good, because it also makes the Baha'i Faith known to the world when he dedicated that house of worship.
And warmest expression of thanks goes to the members of the Baha'i Faith all over the world, both high and low, who have given so generously of their resources.
Reared in the heart of Polynesia, in this lovely island of Samoa, its cornerstone laid by His Highness Malietoa Tanumafili II in an impressive and widely attended ceremony in 1979. This much blessed house of worship, now opening wide its doors to peoples of all creeds, of all races, of all nations, and of all classes, is dedicated to the three fundamental verities animating and underlying the Baha'i Faith: the unity of God, the unity of His prophets, the unity of mankind.
Kia ora, if you've just joined us for Baha'i on Air, we're interviewing and talking to Mr. Pesa White of Tauranga, one of our country's favorite Baha'is, and he's sharing some of his philosophies and ideas, and especially talking about his life in Samoa and the Baha'i Faith in Samoa. You know, one thing I know that Samoans have been thinking about a lot is the tsunami and how devastating it was, and what are what the Baha'i spiritual teachings about dealing with real tragedy.
Yeah, when I first heard about the tsunami, I feel for most of those people that, or all of them that were affected by the tsunami or died. And I know lots of Samoans believe in God. There's no doubt of their belief there is a God. But I'm not really sure if they fully understand or all of them have a belief in life after death. They know there is a God. But the Baha'i Faith, to me, offer that explanation of life after death, and that will help them a lot. Clearly in the Baha'i writings they say that our soul is not a composition of elements, so it's not necessary for it to decompose. So if it's not decomposed, then it lives on after the body dies of whatever cause.
So the Baha'is, you know, because you're Samoan and we're here in Aotearoa, but the center of Baha'i Faith is in Israel. So tell me about that.
That's right. That's actually one of the things that attracted me to the faith. I grew up as a Christian. I read the Bible and talk about Israel. I talk about the Valley of Sharon and the Mount Carmel and all of this. And here we are in our Christian faith. As I said, I grew up as a Catholic. I found out that my headquarters is in Italy or Rome. And other churches here have headquarters in either England or America. But here we are looking and reading the Bible about these holy places. Well, there is only one religion on these holy places that mention the Bible, and that is the Baha'i Faith in Haifa. And it's on the exact mountain that mentioned by God, it's called the Mountain of God, that He will have His footstep on this mountain and the end time. And that's the Baha'i Faith. Baha'u'llah, the prophet founder of the Baha'i Faith, was in prison in Akka, and that's how the Baha'i Faith got to Israel and established their headquarters and center there.
So how long have there been Baha'is in Samoa? I mean, you said you became a Baha'i in the 70s. How long have we had Baha'is there?
Well, the Baha'i Faith arrived in Samoa in 1954. So it's been there for a long time. It's not a new religion in Samoa. So it's been well established in Samoa.
You know, you've been talking about the faith in Samoa and how it really has been there a long time and is integrated in the community. And I was wondering if you could talk to me now about some things that Baha'is are doing in their communities. And I know you're in Tauranga. Talk about some of the activities that Baha'is have for people of all ages.
Well, we have these programs called the 4 core activities that the Baha'is run in fact in all over the world. It's a plan for the Baha'is. One of the greatest things about the Baha'i system is that it's adopted by everybody all over the world. So this system core activities of having children classes, institute process of training, pre-youth education, devotional meetings. Baha'is come together inviting anybody to be part of a service or devotional service that they just pray and think of the world affairs and the unity of humanity.
So it's a prayer meeting, but it's different from church. Maybe explain that.
Yes, it's different because there is no priest. There is no priesthood in the Baha'i Faith. So no one is going to preach to you. Everyone is going to be given the opportunity to pray and say their prayers in their own language and their own beliefs as well. The most important point is the cooperation and come together. They coming together and pray together for the betterment of the world.
Okay, one of the most important principles of Baha'i Faith that we probably talk about a lot on Baha'i Air is the oneness of humankind and the elimination of racial prejudice. Have you still seen that there's racism around in your life and in Aotearoa here?
My experience coming from Samoa with a last name of White, I found that most of the places that I go for, like government office or job interview, every time I say my first name, the person on the other side of the desk is looking down or write down your name. But when I mention my last name, there is always a look up, like asking you, can you repeat what you just said? So I said my last name again, and that happens quite often. So I'm not really sure if it's racism or what caused that, but I'm only guessing because I don't look white, and I'm from the island, because you have to mention where you're from. But I did come around to solve such a problem. Every time we go to the office now, instead of say white, I would say Pesa White, which is spelled the same as white in Maori.
Okay, so how are the Baha'is going to do this? You know, they say unity together. How are the Baha'is going to bring people together of all races? I mean, at the summer school here, we have so many people, different cultures. So tell us, how's the Baha'is going to do that?
Well, I think the gathering together of the Baha'is, you will see different colors, different culture, different people. And you won't find this sort of diversity of Baha'is, of people in any other organization. You'll probably find a few, 1 or 2 different races in some other organization or other groups. But in Baha'i you can find almost every race. So here in your Baha'i summer school, I met with people from about 20 countries, different countries, in this summer school. So I think that will help if you attend Baha'i meetings or conferences, because you will meet different people from all different parts of the world. And also Baha'i conferences like the summer school is open to anybody. Anybody can attend. So I think that will solve the problem when New Zealanders come to these conferences and experience different people from different cultures and different languages, and they will learn that we can all live together, but even though we are different in colors and race and culture. Like last night's performance, we had some Chinese dance, and some Indians, music and dancing. So yes, and Pacific Islanders as well, and some Maori haka.
So it's like the vision. What we see at summer school is a prediction for the future.
Exactly.
We're running out of time. I was wondering if you have any final things you'd like to share with the Baha'i fans.
No, it's just a little message to any Samoan that's listening, that give yourself a chance to investigate the teachings of the Baha'i Faith.
Okay, so that's the final word from Uncle Pesa, inviting you to investigate the Baha'i Faith. Talofa, sayonara, and thank you for watching.
Tafa soifua.